there, welcome in. So interesting thing, I was here to start the camera to do the May monthly zodiac readings, and I kept saying and thinking June. So are we gonna just skip right out over May, and or is it gonna be such a time warp that we're just gonna be right into June? I don't know. Let's take a look. Well, it is going to be an interesting month because we start with a full moon and we end with a full moon. So we'll see. We're starting with Aries, though, too. Got to make sure I say that. I almost forgot. Starting with Aries for May 2026. But whenever you see this, whatever year it is, and it resonates, then it's meant for you. I've been noticing that a lot for myself. Finding videos or even shorts that when I looked to see the date, I was like, well, that hits. And I look and see the date, and it's like years ago. So definitely, grace and gratitude. All right, Aries, you're going to have to give yourself a lot of grace during the next few years because there's a lot of energy, especially right now in your sign. What do we got? This April alone was like 7 planets in Aries, so you're being hit from all angles. So give yourself some grace. Just try to flow and have gratitude for right where you're at, the now moment. All right, for Aries, please. Look at that. Page of Pentacles. I heard for someone you're returning to school. Yeah, returning to a job that you love. Very specific. Specific. Yeah, beginning a new experience. Yeah. Karmic wheel is turning. It's time. It's time. Put up for Aries. Another page. Page of Swords. 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel right now I'm just getting the vibe of something about work, doing something that you love. For some of you, that could be, I'm hearing woodworking, getting some ideas, maybe getting some financial backing to start a business. I'm hearing you've had to prove your worth in this. Like, prove that you were dedicated, that you had the skill, you had the knowledge, you had the wherewithal to get something done. For someone very specific, I'm getting this message of, like, you commission yourself out, you commission your work or something like that. I don't know if that's how you say it properly. But yeah, someone says, hey, I want to hire you to do this, but they're just hiring you for your skill. Their ideas are theirs, and you've got to implement them and put them into something tangible or visible. Like that. But two opportunities here. It might have been a slow get up and go with, because sometimes swords, even though they are fast, they might have a little, stop start kind of energy getting going, because they've got to cut through a lot of fog and red tape and bullshit and whatnot, and then they can hit the mark. King of Cups. Yeah, really doing something that you love here. I feel like for for some that you just left the corporate world. You've done working for someone else, and now you want to work for yourself. Another page. All three pages are in a row here. Page of Pentacles, Page of Swords, Page of Cups. I feel like when you started this venture, whatever this was for you, started to do something that you love, you know, I feel like maybe the steps that you took were maybe a little bit of out of order. Uh, why were they out of order, Spirit? It's like you implemented an idea before the idea was fully formed. But you're learning from all of these early steps. Now you know that you've got to put your heart into yourself before you can pour it into your work. Because when you can't pour from an empty cup. I said that to someone this morning, so that there was a reason I said it to them. I was surprised I said it to this person. It just really flowed right out of me. Wow, yeah. Yeah. Queen of Swords. Yeah, now you've got a lot more clarity and direction here. That grace and gratitude, I do. I feel like you're just going to have to give yourself a little bit of a leeway here in the next decade. It's hard to say that, but yeah, it's going to be a while. Four of Cups. Yeah, I want to say that it doesn't feel like this gets going right off the bat. You may have a surge in the beginning, but then it kind of peters off. And it's because there's things for you to learn. There's things for you to see how, oh, I could have tweaked it this way, or I could have, maybe you've got a flyer or a website, and something's being just getting another look at something. Because then all of a sudden it's like, I wonder if I'm doing the right thing. Should I go back? Maybe your question is, should I go back to the corporate world? And it's like, no, I'm going to tell you right now, you cannot go back to what you've moved on from, because you are no longer at the frequency that held you there in the first place, right? So just get that out of your head right now. So yeah, I just really feel this month of May, or whenever you're seeing this, is you're just really receiving some subtle directives from the universe. They're not loud. I mean, they're pages. They're small. They may be whispers, but they're whispers in a way that you can receive them, that you can understand them. Spirit doesn't feel like they've got to yell to get your attention. You know how to tap in, tune in, and take note of what you're seeing, the synchronicities and the nudges you're getting. You know how to do that. You don't need any loud in your face or in your ear, 2x4s to the forehead kind of thing. You know how to. I feel like you've got a really good business plan. And this month helps you implement that a little more. But the key here is you've got to, you can't overdo. You've got to give yourself some grace. You've got to let things flow. You've got to rest when you're being asked to rest. Have fun and go out and play, and when you're given opportunities to do that. It's not all work. and no play makes Jack a dull boy. This is something better than that. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. And that's what Uranus and Taurus has been teaching all of us these last 7 years. Now that it's out and moved into Gemini, now we get to, you know, tell ourselves a different story about who we are and where we're going and who we're becoming and what we want. And we're speaking truthfully to ourselves. This is what I want. This is what feels. This is the job or this career or this project. This is what gives me joy. And I want joy. I want more joy in my life. I want my cup to overflow. I decide to tap into that energy. And once you say that, the universe says, okay, we're on the same page. Let's go. And then your heart starts opening. And yeah, maybe some things, I want to take a look at this Four of Cups, because maybe with the Queen of Swords here, there just might be some things that you've had to or are still going to have to cut out of your life. Maybe it's an eating habit. Maybe it's an addiction. Maybe it's a mindset. It's going to be very different for each and every one of you. But now that your heart is open and you know what you want to do, because your heart sings and goes zing when you think about it, and when you're actually getting your hands in doing that project or that kind of work, it's like me with reading. It's all I want to do is just read. I love throwing cards for people, and I love watching the transformation just within a private reading from the minute they sit down to the minute they leave. I enjoy that so much, for not just for myself, but for them. I love seeing that for them. But I just feel like there comes a little moment of questioning by the end of the month. Maybe that's where June comes in. Maybe that's why I was thinking June. Maybe May is just, it's not asking for a lot of your attention, right? Or a lot of your effort right now. Maybe this is a let's get the I's dotted and the T's crossed kind of month for you. We got to start small. We can't just jump in with both feet and go hell bent for leather here. We can't just all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy is what I'm hearing. He can't. That's maybe an old version of you. And if you've worked out in in the corporate world or a different type of job than before, that where that was needed or required, you don't have to do that now. Slow down. Give yourself some grace. Enjoy life. Enjoy the moment, right? Ooh, that's cold. Yeah. Take a look at this Four of Cups. Why is there this? I feel like it's a moment of be careful not to fall back into any old emotional patterns here. Stop looking at the past. Those cups are done. You filled them as best as you could with what you had to give them. And now you're being offered this opportunity here, and I feel like you've got 3 opportunities as well, with the messengers coming in here, the pages. Those offer you an opportunity. You can either listen to it or ignore it, and by the end of the month, you may, if you're not paying attention, if you're not paying attention because you're so worried that this isn't whatever this project or this new business is, and it's not picking up as quickly as you thought, or it did and kind of maybe fizzled out, you may, if you're focused on that, you may miss this biggest opportunity of all. Okay, so let's take a look at this Four of Pentacles, or, well, Four of Pentacles. So there's no accident that that came out of my mouth. So instead of thinking about what do I need to hold on to, you know, trying to hold on to resources and your energy and your time and da 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 da, try to think about the Four of Pentacles in a different way. What do I need to embrace? My own sense of security. My security is not going to come from outside of me. It's got to come from inside of me first, right? You can't. You got to fill your cup first. You can't pour from an empty cup. Love yourself. Give yourself that which you need, that what you're looking for outside of you. All right, that's for some of you, I guess. Four of Cups. Yeah, I feel like you just thought it was going to go. There's a situation that you thought was going to go a certain way, and it just, you're being asked to release it. We've got the Three of Wands, the Two of Swords, Five of Cups, and the Death card. You're being asked to let go. Okay? Of what? A mindset. An attachment to something, or a belief that, you know, or maybe it's the dream that you've been waiting for, and you got the opportunity to make this dream a reality, but it didn't quite go the way that you had thought, and then you're like, oh, it's just like the old days, you know, or something just reminds you of, oh, that's what that is. Stop. This Five of Cups and the Two of Swords, this is where you used to tell yourself you're a failure. You can't do it, because probably somebody else said that to you before and you believed it. In order for this new whatever it is to work, you have had to transform your mind, your heart, your belief systems, your relationship with money, your relationship with success, your relationship with yourself. What is that saying? Was it Einstein that said, you know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and and hoping for a different result? Is that how that goes? I feel like, okay, so that's part of this lesson here, Aries. With whatever this is, I feel like you maybe had a little bit of a wobble with the self-worth and your own, you know, valuing yourself, valuing your ideas, your emotions. I feel like you had a little bit of wobble of hoping that others saw you and heard you, you know, capital C, you know, or SAW, capital HEAR. The transformation that Spirit's been bringing you through was for you to see you yourself, and to hear you, and to trust where your heart is and what it is you desire and who it is you want to become in this world. Your identity was formed, all of ours, every person's identity was formed because we were told how to be who we were before, and we never questioned it. Maybe in our minds, but a lot of us, you know, verbally, we never said, well, I think you're wrong, you know? This is where you're saying to yourself, you're looking in the mirror and you're saying, you're wrong, Aries. You are not a failure. You're a success. You're dedicated. You've got drive. You've got a big heart. You have great ideas. Fill in the blanks however you want to speak to yourself in the mirror. But that's what's happening. Your story, you're speaking your own story into a new story into your existence here. And you're cutting out. I feel like this Queen of Swords is you're cutting out. Oh, wow, that's a whole shit ton. Let me take a look at what turned over in this deck here. Wow. No, that's no, that's half. That's a lot. Let's try that again. Yeah, letting go of toxic belief systems, patterns, getting back, standing in your power. You've made a decision. Now you've got to stick to it by being dedicated to it. For some of you, you may have some new love coming into your life. I wanted to clarify the Queen of Swords. I feel like the Queen of Swords is not only new truth coming in, seeing yourself in the light of truth, but you could be cutting out relationships, partnerships. I feel like, that's more. There's the Emperor. There you are, Aries. I love that showing up in your own reading. I feel like for many of you, this could be a new partner coming in. Some of you could be releasing a partner and becoming single. Reshoring up, fixing the foundation, your self-worth that you're going to move forward on. I love that. Let's take a look at the Wheel of Fortune. Where are you going, Aries? It's time. It's time for a new structure, a new foundation for you. I feel like the old structure was, I feel like the old structure has been really difficult for you to move away from and detach from, because it's been so ingrained within you, in every cell of your body. It seems like now it's more free flowing. It's less restrictive as a structure. Whatever structure is for you, the mindset, the belief systems you have, the way that you work, the way that you earn money, your relationship with that, whatever that was for you. I feel like it's becoming more fluid. It's going to be very productive, Queen of Pentacles, but only if you start nurturing yourself first. That's where the abundance comes from. Is from loving yourself, filling your cup first. Come here. Filling your cup first. Okay? I don't have to, yeah, justice on the bottom. Things are coming into balance. I like that. That's major on the bottom of the deck. So we've got Justice, the Sun, Ace of Pentacles, and Temperance. Things are definitely going to work out for you, Aries. You just got to give yourself some grace. Give yourself some time for this to play out. Like I said, you've got, what do you got? Aries and, no, you've got Saturn and Neptune in your sign. I want to say for years. What is Neptune? Is Neptune an 18-year or 13-year, or Saturn's a 14-year? I don't have all the details right now, and I if you're interested in that, you can just Google how long is Neptune in Aries or Saturn in Aries. Then you can see how long these transits are going to be. Also look to see where they're heading in your chart, in your birth chart. If you don't have a birth chart, you can get one at cafeastrology.com or their AstroSeek. You can get a free natal chart. But just to give you a better idea of where it's going to be heading in your own personal experience. If you are interested in how this is going to hit you personally a little more, you can certainly reach out. We can take a look at your placements. We can take a look at a reading for you just to see how these transits are going to potentially play out. Remember, you can shift the energy in anything. If you don't like this reading, shift the energy and it shifts the reading. Okay? Final message, please, for Aries for May. For May, I'm using the Guides of the Hidden Realms Oracle. I got two wanting to come out. So this is the deck I'm using. Guides of the Hidden Realms. We've got ripe, juicy, and ready. Ooh. Poised for success. Potential waiting to be realized. Yeah, that's kind of like, that's Nine of Pentacles right here, right? That's Emperor energy as well. You know your worth. You're ready for a new beginning. I feel like for some of you, this is even a new beginning in love. Maybe you could, if you're starting your own business, maybe one of your customers becomes a love partner. But at the very least, this is you loving you and doing what you love. Okay? All the blessings everywhere. Gifts from the universe and synchronicity. So I love that. Yeah, I just heard the word flow. Just letting things flow, letting the universe speak to you. There's no need to be, the dominating emperor that we know Aries, Aries can be in this energy here, right? So you don't need to do that. That was the old way of doing business. You're not aligned with that anymore. So got to take a step back from time to time when you feel like you're putting too much pressure on yourself or whatever this project is. Take a step back, fill your cup, go have fun. Go have fun, Aries. All right. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for joining me. Have a great month. We will see you on the other side. I love you. Bye.